What's up guys, welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be showing you through my fantasy team. I've joined Patrick Van Arnholt's league, the league of doing bits. As you can see down the bottom, I'm also in a separate one, but that is irrelevant. Let's get into the team that I have picked to start off with. If you guys want to see weekly updates or like monthly updates or something on how my fantasy teams go, comment down below and I'll get up with that when things start to get interesting. Anyway, let's get into the team. Starting off in goal, I have gone for a new signing and a new team, Rui Patricio. I think he's a very good price actually. 4.5 million I think is an absolute bargain for a goalkeeper. I'm actually going to switch the thing on so I can show you other options that I could have gone for. I've got Stecklenburg as my backup keeper. If we go on to goalkeepers, I'll run you through a couple of other options that I would recommend if I were to choose it. I'd say De Gea, alright, but not really what I think is too expensive. Personally, my best bet would be... Oh wait, I've gone for team selected by shit. Price, there we go. Right, for God's sake, I forgot that I hadn't clicked off. Anyway, where was I? Yeah. Other options I would recommend, probably Pickford and Schmeichel, both decent bets, although Leicester don't have the best defence in general. Begovic is alright, but I think, to be honest, for 4.5 million, Patricio is an absolute bargain. And then I've just gone for a backup keeper as a 4 million one just to save points, to be honest. Defence, I've gone for 3 at the back, Lascelles, Lowton and Alexander-Arnold. I've gone for 2 right backs in Lowton and Arnold. I was tempted by Tarkowski as Burnley have a decent defence, but I went for Lowton to try and get a couple of assists in there. Alexander-Arnold, hopefully, he's one of the cheaper Liverpool players. And the key with defenders is to go for the cheapest player in their back line because they all get the same amount of points for clean sheets. And it's rare they get a goal. So you can either go for an 8 million defender or a 5 million defender, but they'll both get the same points if they're on the same team because they both get clean sheet points. I've also gone for Lascelles of Newcastle. Not the strongest defensive team, but Lascelles gets in with a few good headers, and I think they could be a team on the up, so I've gone for them as well. Into the midfield, I've gone for Kelly and Bednarek. Other defensive options, actually, before we do that, other defensive options you could go for. Antonio Valencia, I think, is a good bet. Man United have a strong defence and he gets up the wing a fair bit, although it says he's got a slight injury. Azpilicueta is always good, although it's very expensive. I wouldn't recommend any Spurs defenders because in each position they've got, like at left back it could be Rose or Davies. Centre backs they've got 3 good options, so you don't really know who's going to get chosen. So I wouldn't recommend going for a Spurs defender for that reason. Harry Maguire, a decent bet, obviously good with his head, he proved that for England. John Stones, although you can't be confirmed he'd get in the team yet again. There you go, a couple of the Burnley lads I think are good options actually. They've got a strong defence, Ben Mee as well, and Tarkowski is the other one. Dejan Lovren is a good, decent bet in my eyes, as is Clavan. And then as we go down, kind of getting into the poor players now, I haven't really... Riedewald, I suppose, right? You could go for a Fulham one in like Le Marchand or something. I think they could be decent. Haven't gone for another Wolves defender because I think it's not worth going for 2 defensive players from the same team. Possibly Diop would be another bet I could recommend, but they are the ones that I have gone for. Into the midfield. Now, I've gone all out in the midfield. That is where most of my money has been put. I brought in Salah, De Bruyne, Hazard, Pogba and Jorginho. 5 huge players. Salah, obviously most expensive player in my team actually. I kind of have to go for him just in case he does carry on the form. You can't risk not having him at this stage. De Bruyne, arguably the best player in the Premier League. Hate to admit it, but arguably the best in the league. So I've gone for him. Only 10 million. Hazard, a bit of a risk, but I decided to say true to Chelsea. And I think Chelsea are going to have a good year this season. I'm feeling promise about Sarri, if I'm honest. Jorginho, bargain price, considering he can play killer balls. We've got Kante holding back, but Jorginho able to push forward a little bit more maybe than at Napoli, and with Sarri's attacking play, he may get a few assists, I think, through passing. Pogba, he's just come off a World Cup win, so I think he is also a very good bet. But to be honest, in the midfield, you've got a lot of good options. Sterling's decent. He's inconsistent, so you don't know what you're going to get. You could either get on fire or absolute shit with Sterling, so I haven't gone for him. Sanchez, I think, I don't rate Sanchez. Mane and Sane, both very good, slightly cheaper. Eriksen, again, slightly cheaper. Wouldn't recommend Mahrez. Possibly Ali or Özil, although Arsenal these days are a bit poor. David Silva as well. Other options, Shaqiri and Bernardo Silva, I would not recommend. Martial, maybe, and Lingard, maybe. I looked at Yarmolenko, actually, as a decent bet. West Ham obviously have quite a strong team this year. Ryan Sessegnon could be an interesting one for those of you looking for a slightly cheaper player in your ranks. I know Ross Barkley's not at Everton anymore. Fred and Iwobi, actually, that's the point. Iwobi, I think, could be a good option for some of you looking for a cheap one. I think he may get in the new Arsenal team, I think. Loftus-Cheek as well, cheap player, and I think he could get in the Chelsea side. Fulham have a strong team, so not a bad idea to sometimes go for them. Fernandinho, consistent points, I would say. Torreira, possibly. You don't know what you're going to get with him, though. Bakayoko and Kante, if you just want to... Well, not really much back. Kante, if you want to just get kind of clean sheet points and impact points every week, although he won't get any goals or assists, really. Anybody else down here? Neves. Neves is decent, actually, as is Lamina and Kennedy of Newcastle, actually on loan. Actually, I'm not sure. He may have signed a permanent deal. I'm not sure whether Kennedy's permanently signed for Newcastle now, whether he's still just on loan. Hudson-Odoi, probably one of your last options, then you're really kind of getting into the weaker players. Then up front, I've gone for some risks. I have picked Romelu Lukaku. Oh, shit. I've picked Romelu Lukaku and Mitrovic. Lukaku, no big risk. I was tempted to go for Kane, but I thought midfield is where they're stronger players. I'm not sure if Kane's going to do so well this year. I just have a feeling he won't do as well. Firmino, didn't feel it. Liverpool have so many attackers now that they can't all get like so many goals. Then Arnautovic could have been an option. Zaha could have been an option. But I've screwed up because now apparently I'm on Burnley players. Didn't go for either of them in the end. But Benteke could have been a decent option, as Chicharito. Neither of them really kicked off in recent season. I went for Mitrovic. He got like 20 goals in the Championship last year. He's doing well at Fulham. He's just signed on a permanent deal. And I think he really could hit form. I don't think he'll hit the heights of 20, 30 goals. But I think he could get a solid 10 or 15 goals. And obviously I can swap him out if I need to. But that is my fantasy team. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. Sorry it is quite a basic one, but I will see you guys next time. Peace.